I was sitting around reflecting a little bit today, and I think I'm about to finish up my 16th year in the lawn care business. I know a lot of people have done it a lot longer than that. A lot of you done it shorter than that, and it's no record accomplishment by any means, but I was thinking, why in my 16th year do I enjoy the lawn care business more than I did in my 3rd year, or my 10th year? Why does it seem to get better, at least for me? So in this video, I want to give you 5 tips for longevity in the lawn care business. If this is something you're thinking about doing for a living, maybe you're early on, maybe you're not, but you can at least, based on my thought, get inside my head, and best I can think of, these are some reasons that have helped me and they might be able to relate to you. Today's video is sponsored by Graham Spray Equipment. A lot of you may know that follow the channel. I was mowing grass, now I'm mostly spraying yards, and I rely heavily on my Graham spray rig. I have a 400-gallon split tank on the back of my F350. If you need a spray rig for your business, then go to grahamsc.com or give those guys a call. Just a teaser on a future video. I'm about to clean up this flower bed. It's getting on my nerves. The statue's falling over. I mean, everything's going bad. So we're gonna have this cleaned up, and so I'm hoping to show you a few things of how I'm gonna make this thing look a lot better. All right, maybe you're watching the video and you're discouraged with the lawn business, not going the way you thought it would, or maybe you're early on and it's a little bit nervous. I can relate to that. I do think there was probably at least one point where I was like just fed up with the lawn care business and struggling with that. And so just gonna share with you some things, and the first one may throw you off just a little bit, but the number one thing, and these are in no particular order, but 5 reasons to help you have longevity. Number one, I think you gotta have some time off. Now let me explain that to you just for a second. What I don't particularly love is working like crazy from March to October and then taking the entire winter off. Okay, that I don't know if that's time off. That's like in some ways a bad business model if you're really trying to like make a lot of money. Okay, just taking, very few businesses out there take months and months off. So the winter income is a real issue. What I'm more talking about is not working 6 days a week all the time during the busy season. I know you got to make money, and if you're starting out, I wouldn't blame you if you did work 6 days a week. When I've started my lawn care business, I've had 3. Every single time I had a part-time job while I got my business going, just working, trying to get it established, okay? So yes, work hard, but eventually the idea of just working around the clock, I'm just gonna do it all myself, I can do it, is not a good motto, and I do think way too many people get burned out because of that. It is physically demanding labor, and I think you gotta have yourself a slightly flexible schedule. Personally, I love the idea of a 4-day work week with 1 day as a rain makeup day. So, let's just say we're gonna work 40 hours a week. I like the idea of 4 10-hour days versus 5 8-hour days. That's just one thought, but it might give you a little bit of time off. I think you gotta build in a little bit of time for family and hobbies and things like that. They're all part of life. I'd say all the time, if you die and you on your tombstone, it says greatest lawn person ever, but you've neglected everything else in your life, I wouldn't necessarily call that a success. So number one, time off. Number 2 thing I'm going to mention is just outsourcing. And what I mean by that is not doing everything yourself. Now you might say, Jason, aren't you a solo operator? And I am. I've had people work for me, but right now I'm a solo operator, and there's some freedom in that I don't have to manage employees on. So I'm not even saying hire a bunch of people, though that is certainly one option, is hiring people and building your business to where you become a manager of the business, or it's not solely dependent on you, because that's not always the best option, though that's the one I've chosen at this point. But even for me, working by myself, I'm making YouTube videos, doing other things. There's other things in my life that I've been able to outsource to free up my schedule. So yes, I may go out there and spray every yard on my schedule, but I've got a very manageable schedule. I've even downsized my business to make it more scheduled. It goes back to point number 1, to give me some time off. But the other thing I've done is, like, for instance, all the YouTube stuff, it takes a lot of time. Well, I have a video editor, I have a thumbnail designer. I brought in other people that can help me in other areas of life, to where actually when I go out spraying yards, that's probably that's actually kind of a relaxing time in many ways for me. So again, that's the way I've approached it. But if you're out there mowing grass 5 days a week and it's all depending on you, and I'm just gonna work harder and harder and harder, and you can sort of take an inventory of yourself, a pulse, like, am I making it? I mean, is this sustainable for the next 15 years? And if the answer is no, then let's start working toward a solution. I'm not saying immediately you gotta go out and hire 3 people and now you're stressed because you're managing employees, but let's don't say what I'm doing now is not sustainable, so I'm just gonna keep doing it, you know, until I just give out and just quit. You know, that's not a good plan. So many people, I feel like in lawn business, end up burning out and no exit strategy, and they just quit and get nothing for the business that they've been working for this whole time. I'm like, you know, let's have a plan where we can at least sell it or transition out gracefully and it's worth something. So anyway, if you see you're on an unsustainable course, then let's start working toward a solution. The third one, and this seems obvious, but I'm not sure it is, but you gotta make money. You gotta be profitable, okay? I think one of the things, and this, I remember this in my business, okay, again, I'm on my 3rd lawn care business, and this one's more profitable than the other 2, but one of the ones I had early on, it was very dependent on me working a lot, and I was young, had a lot of energy and all that, and was working and making money, but I should have been charging higher prices. I should have been going after more profitable work. And eventually I got kind of frustrated with it because, you know, it was like one of these deals where I felt like I made more money, but yeah, I'm working harder, and then I get my tax bill at the end of the year, and or in April, and it's more than it's ever been before. And it's kind of one of those deals like, man, I don't know if I work harder if I'm actually making more money. So this goes back to pricing your lawns and having to make sure you're pricing yourself where you're making good margins, because it is very defeating. And as inflation and things like that are a reality, it's very defeating to feel like you're working harder and been doing this longer and not making any more money. You need to see this thing ticking upward from a morale standpoint, okay? That I'm not getting discouraged because I'm actually making less money than when I used to start. Or I've grown, now we got, you know, double the customers we used to have, but I don't think I'm making any more money than I used to when I did it by myself and had half as many customers. That's very defeating. So I think you need to be growing at a profitable rate for the psychology of it to keep you motivated. And it's just a numbers game. You know what? Life costs money, and you need to be making money. If you're not, it's gonna lead to burnout most likely. The 4th thing I want to mention is just having some new challenges. You know, a lot of you follow the channel know that on my 3rd lawn business, I now do weed control and fertilization after mowing lawns. So that was, in a lot of ways, refreshing for me. You don't have to get into that, but it was something that gave me a new challenge to learn something new. I can mow grass, I can still mow grass and all that, but it was something different that challenged my mind, and it was just refreshing. I don't know. I think personally, as I get older, I still try to learn things. I'm still listening to books, listening to podcasts, reading, things like that, because if you grow stale and you're never challenging yourself, I do think, again, it can lead to burnout. I'm just doing the same old thing all the time. So again, the weed control turned out to be a great fit for me. I really enjoy it and had a mentor and was able to kind of get it going pretty quick, and it's been more profitable. I mean, it kind of solved a lot of these problems because it solved the profitability problem. It solved the time off problem because I was making more money. I didn't have to work quite as much. I was able to free up my schedule. I mean, it just fixed a lot of things that were in my business. Also fixed my winter income problem. I'm in Alabama, and it's a year-round business here. We spray yards year-round, and so that was a great benefit to my business as well. If I wanted to hire employees, it's also scalable because it's higher profit margins. Again, you don't have to do that. But, you know, like some people are mowing grass and they say, you know, I'm gonna start doing a little bit of landscaping. I'm gonna take on some small landscaping jobs, or I'm gonna start sodding yards. You know, people will lay Bermuda sod, buy it for $100-something a pallet and laying it out for $600 a pallet, $650, $700. I don't know what the going rate is now, but you don't even have to go get like a skid steer to do it. You can have somebody prep the soil for you, and you can just be the one that lays the sod and kind of starting to get into those things. I know it can be a little bit scary. I think it's refreshing and can lead you to higher profit margins. And the 5th thing I want to mention is equipment. I got a new Z spray this year, and I was out there riding that thing on some big properties. I thought, wow, this thing is great, because I was able to use the equipment to save my body. So I think this is something, even when you're young, got plenty of energy, if there's a way that the equipment can save you labor for yourself or your employees, I think your employees are just gonna like you better. But whatever I can use, I think you call it, I heard somebody describe it as mechanizing. You know, if I can mechanize my business where I can get equipment to do it, I mean, I'm still out there spraying the yard, but I'm riding on a machine. And again, it just added a new challenge, made it a little bit more fun, and also saved my legs from having to walk so much. And just at the end of the day, if it's more enjoyable, then it's something I can keep doing. Again, the point of the video is how can we not get burnout? How can we not quit? How can we have more longevity in the lawn care business? And why not, I'm gonna throw in a bonus one I thought of while I was doing the video, and I think this is fixing your payment problems. I have people almost every year that cheat me out of money. It seems like one a year, and I've got more and more people with credit cards on file and things like that. But even that, sometimes they'll get you because you go charge the card and it gets declined, and it's after I've already done the work, and then they don't reply to text messages, things like that. It's very frustrating. But get this where it's basically as automated as possible. Prepay, card on file, simplify the collection process. Most people that run a lawn care business don't want to be sitting at a desk texting people about their payment that's late for 45 days. And if they don't pay, get rid of them. Move on with your life, because I'm telling you, that'll burn you out quicker than getting out there working in 95-degree weather. A couple things to mention real quick. If you hadn't signed up for the Equip Expo and you still want to go, you can save 50% off by using my discount code CREEL50, C-R-E-E-L 50. Also, the 2024 Lawn Care Life Conference is February 23rd and 24th. Really excited about that. It's $197 early bird sign up. A lot of people have already taken advantage of that. I do think we're going to sell out this year. We'll have 300 tickets available. I'm partnering with Paul Jameson, got Naylor Taliaferro, Caleb Brittany Allman, Alan Hayden, Lawn Care Nut, and others. They're going to be at the event. Get your information and register for that at lawncarelife.com. There's a link for conference. That's also where you'll find the Weed Control and Fertilization Academy and other resources. If you want to get into mowing grass, you want to get into weed control and fertilization, there's resources at lawncarelife.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.